this platform. Firstly, I'd like to take you down the memory lane. I want you to think of a goal that you set for yourself and you achieved success. Then let us flip it. I want you to think of another goal that you set for yourself, but you did not achieve success. Why? Were you faced with any form of tribulation and you gave up? So if I was to read through your mind, I'm sure we would have thoughts like, oh, the reason why I succeeded in the other goal and I did not succeed in the other goal was because probably the other goal, the first goal, I was diligent, I was more hardworking, I would hear responses like determination, focus. Yes, those qualities are right. You are all correct. But I would want to describe those qualities by one word, using one word, commitment. Commitment. Now, what is commitment? Commitment is the ability to stick to your plan. Commitment is the ability to stick to something, even when you're not enthusiastic about that plan, even when it's not easy for you to proceed with that plan. That is commitment. Now, this next question is, how do you stay committed to your goal? I'd like to share these 4 points with us. One is for us to create successful habits. You need to replace old habits, old negative habits. They might not necessarily be old negative habits, but in the context of you achieving your goal, they might be seen as negative habits, habits that will impede you from achieving your goal. So what do? You replace those habits with new habits, habits that will accelerate you to achieving your goal. So what do you do in this case? You list your old habits, then you list your new habits, the positive habits, then replace the positive habits with the old habits. And you make it daily habits until you have a grip on those habits and you see yourself achieving your goal. You see yourself being committed to achieving your goal, even in the face of tribulations. Now, the second point, you need to be accountable. When I say accountability, what do we mean? You need to have someone that you can look up to, someone that can hold your hand, someone that has walked your path and can guide you, someone that can share life experiences with you. It may be your mentor. It might even be someone, maybe in your case, it's your spouse or your children, someone that you know you don't want to let down. You know that when you fail, you have to rise again. Margaret Thatcher said that you may have to fight a battle more than once to win it. So you need to have someone that can critique the milestones or the achievements you've made and will help you to better improve on yourself. Now, what is the third point? The third point is that you need to create small victories. And it means that look at the big goal. Now break your big goal into smaller goals. And with that, you can achieve and celebrate small wins. And when you do that, what does it do to you? It will boost your confidence. It will give you this sense of assurance. You have a reason to celebrate. You have a reason to press on, even when you're faced with tribulations and even when it feels like you are still far from achieving your goal. But when you look at the small wins that you have achieved thus far, then you're able to move on. Now, the fourth point I would like to share with us is passion. You need passion to be committed to a goal. You need that drive. Have you read the stories of the successful people on earth? The most successful person, the wealthiest person has this drive, the drive to make more money. So you need that drive. That drive is what will make you forge ahead, that will push you to achieving your goals, even when there are roadblocks, even when it seems that they are going to be impossible. Peter Drucker said, and I quote, that unless there is commitment, what you have are hopes and promises, no plans. Now let me share the story of a child with you, which I know that will be able to resonate with. Look at the growth trajectory of a child, how simple it is. When a child is born into the world, the child realizes that he or she needs to communicate with the world. The child starts to make progress to talk. Then the first thing the child does, the child opens her mouth and he or she makes funny sounds that, does not make any meaning. The child keeps pressing on. And what is it called? Commitment. Then one day the child finally opens his or her mouth and he or she pronounces the first word, or maybe dad or mom, and the child is so happy. And the same thing is applicable when a child is learning how to walk. The child starts to crawl. Then one day the child takes a step, and finally the child starts to walk. What is that? Commitment. A child, as small as a child is, that child in the growth trajectory of a child, that child never gives up. The child keeps pressing on. So commitment is pursuing your goals, focusing on your goals, even when you're no longer interested in it, even when you've lost interest in it. What you're focusing on is the bigger goal. Finally, I am here today giving this speech because of commitment. I also have equally important engagements today, but I chose to give this speech, barring all obstacles. Why? Because I am committed to becoming a Toastmaster. I am committed to improving on my presentation skills. My fellow Toastmasters, what is that goal that you want to achieve? Does it look impossible? Are you faced with tribulations? Are there obstacles? Are there... Please let us be committed to our goal. Thank you.
Wow, that was an inspiring speech on goal setting and the key elements for all of us to have in our toolkit: commitment and passion. And with commitment, we can achieve wonders. And thank you for showing a great speech, for giving a great speech and showing an example of commitment. Thank you, Busola. Our next speaker is Victor Lanyan. He is giving his project level 1, project 2, evaluation and feedback, speech number 1. I welcome him to the stage, and his speech title is Benefits of Strategic Planning in Work Environment. Benefits of Strategic Planning in Work Environment. Victor Lanyan. Victor, the stage is yours.
Good day, everybody. I welcome you to this session. I'm here to talk on the topic, the benefits of strategic planning in the work environment. And I would like to start with a favorite quote, one of my favorite quotes by the great American leader, Dwight Eisenhower. And it goes thus, that plan is useless, but planning is indispensable. And this is applicable to every company that is serious in engaging in serious business. Strategic planning is very important to all companies that we have, particularly in this era of VUCA, which is volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. Over time, we've discovered that every department of a company must have his or her strategic planning in place. For example, in HR, you have the staff retention plan, you have the learning and development plan, and all of the other plans. For finance, the budget is a form of strategic plan that guides the affairs of the whole organization and is broken down into revenue and also expenditure. The following benefits are very important for every strategic plan in the organization. One, the organization in having a strategic plan, this guides her to anticipate and plan for changes. It also helps her in resource allocation and also to manage her costs. It also helps in the alignment of strategy between the various units in the organization. In conclusion, I'll say it's essential that every organization must have in place a strategic plan for every period in the year. Likewise, for individual employees in the organization, they need to have their strategic plans for their career and how they want to perform in the organization, because most organizations measure performance against what the strategic plans are. How effective and how efficient has the staff or the department been able to fulfill or meet up with the expected strategic plan of the company? Thank you.
Thank you, Victor, for giving your speech on strategic planning at work. I'm just noting down before I move. Thank you very much. With that, I would be requesting our next speaker, Mustafa Ali. He will be evaluated by me for his speech in level 1, project 2, second speech, evaluation and feedback, second speech. So he has played as a role of an evaluator, and he had given a previous speech in project 2. Now he'll be giving his second speech in project 2. His speech title is Understanding Human Personalities. Understanding Human Personalities, Mustafa Ali. Mustafa, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Hari, and thank you, fellow Toastmasters, for giving me the opportunity to speak with you today. I hope you're having a great day today. So the topic that I chose, understanding human personalities, is personal, right? Everyone, I'm assuming everyone is a human being. So yes, we all understand, wonder sometimes, hey, why does this person think the way they think? Why are they reacting very differently? A same message that you give to two different people would give you a completely different result. And this is what led me to discover these things a little more. And I started to look into the possibilities of, hey, is there a way I can actually understand? There's no way of getting into the head of a human being. However, we decided that, you know what, this is something that I need to look into more closely. And this is why I chose this topic of understanding a human personality. And as I was doing research, I thought I'll share a quick presentation with you guys as well that will help you understand. The idea is not to give you a full-fledged lecture, because this is an hour's talk and years of research and all that, but to give you a flavor of what different personality types are and what do different people do and all that. So if Hari, I could share my screen with you guys, that'll be awesome. And perfect. And Pamela is here, so I'll actually take the lead from her, how she taught me to share the presentation. So see if I can successfully do that. No, I don't think I can successfully do that, but I hope you guys can see my screen here. Is that visible? Persuasive influence, negotiating a positive outcome with strong interpersonal communication. Is that what you guys see? Sorry, I cannot.
Yes, I can. Yes, can see.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thanks for the feedback. So yeah, so this is what the topic that I chose to talk about. As I said, human personalities are very complex. We all know that, and there have been research that is going on for a long time in this area. In fact, thousands of years ago, a philosopher named Hippocrates that we all know of did some research on this, and he categorized that people could be categorized into 4 different personality types. And of course, he used the difficult language, the cholerics, the sanguines, the melancholic, and the phlegmatics. Each one of these have a different, and then he grouped people. Now, we are not, we are complex human beings, so we cannot fall into, say, just one of these categories. Cholerics are those people who are more extroverted, sanguines are those people who are more extroverted yet people driven. Melancholics are the people who are more analytical, and phlegmatics are more quiet, relaxed. They want to do stuff that they want to do. I'm not getting into, as I said, a whole lot of detail on this topic, but just wanted to give you a starting, so to speak, understanding of what these personality types are. And then in 1928, Dr. William Marston came and he wrote a book called The Emotions of Normal People. And in this book, he took the research that Hippocrates did in the form of the cholerics and sanguines and all, and converted the same thing into something which is what we call the disc model. And he said there are people who have a dominant type of personality. There are people who have influential type of personalities. There are people who are conscientious, and then there are people who are very steady. And he characterized each one of these with their different characteristics. So you think of, say, my challenge to you all would be, think of a fellow, either friend, your spouse, your colleague, or somebody in your life who you think they're slightly different from you. And you'll be able to see that there are traits. Some people are very people oriented. They are like the life of the party. We call them the influential people, or the sanguines. They are outgoing, they're enthusiastic, very optimistic and all. Then there are some people, mostly found at workplaces in the form of bosses, who are very direct, who are very aggressive, who wants to just get things done, go, 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 go type of thing. But then they're in the same office environment. You'll find people who you could trust, you could rely on all the time. You give them a task and that consider it done type of thing. But they're not the people who would show off with their work and all a whole lot. They may not be as vocal as the other people are. So what I did was I took a little bit of my own thinking and put the two things together, the melancholic sanguine type of the ancient study and then this disc model, and I put them together in this flow chart, so to speak, because as finance professionals, as people like these, we all are more geared towards flowcharts, right? How do I make sense of it? And this is how I've divided this into the four groups, you could say. The people who are on the top side are more outgoing. The people who are on the bottom side are more reserved. The people who are on the left side are more task oriented, while the people who are on the right side are more people oriented. So you think of this as the cholerics, or the D types are people who are goal driven. They talk about themselves. They have hardcore values. They want results. They want, okay, I want to make this change. And then there are people who are still outgoing, and these are very outgoing people. They would be on your face getting things done. But then there are I's, or the sanguines, who would be more concerned about you, who would be more caring about you. They still want things done, but they would do it in a fashion which is more people oriented. And then there are phlegmatics, people who are more, again, people oriented, yet they would talk about the agreements, they would talk about the principles. They are more about the team spirit and all that. The melancholic, on the other side, are the people who are talking more about facts and analyses and all that. So this is how an introduction is. In this challenging environment that we are all in, we are faced with what we call in the workplace diversity, inclusion, all those things. So it has become extremely more important for us to understand people, get along, get into the more what we call the environment, and create a cohesive environment. So one statement that I would close with in conclusion is, different is not bad. It's just different. Understand that there are people, God has created us all differently for a reason. Some people are more required to drive the job. Some people are more required to appease the people. So be one of those understand all these personalities and be very successful in your career. Thank you.
Thank you, Mustafa, for a wonderful speech on your motivational strategies topic, understanding human personalities. You gave us a flavor of the different type of personalities and how it connected with the melancholic assessment. Thank you very much for that. With that, it's my pleasure to introduce another club member and first-time speaker, Icebreakers, for his icebreaker speech, to introduce about himself, about me, Ilyas Gutu. Ilyas Gutu, about me. Ilyas, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Hari. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. I'm really excited to be a part of the team and to be able to present. This is a privilege for me. I really connected well with the theme of the day that you shared, Hari, where you talked about challenges and you used the word of the day, which was tribulation. The quote that moves me the most when I think about tribulation and challenges in terms of overcoming them is from Winston Churchill, who says, never, never, never give up. A little bit about myself. I currently reside in New Jersey with my wife, Samantha. We've been married since December 15, 2019. So we've been married going on to 6 years. And family is one of the most important things for me. And I think it's that way for most of us. This is the reason why we work and why we improve ourselves and, why we do what we're doing, right, is to really support our families and to, just, and to grow our families. Much like, in terms of my life story, much like anyone else here, it will take days, or at the least it will take like the whole hour session to go through it. But, I will share the key areas with regard to time. And career-wise, I'm an accountant by training. I currently work in FP&A, which is financial planning and analysis. Essentially just budgeting. I know Victor actually talked about this in terms of like a company's finance department. The way that they strategize is really through the budget. And that's how they're able to measure, what they're going to spend for the whole year before the year even begins. So I work for a biotech called Vaccinity. And in terms of my finance career, it spans about 10 years in 4 different industries, which are insurance, travel. In travel, I worked for Avis Budget Group in FP&A. I also worked in technology, and now I'm in healthcare. So for the past 5 years, 5 years ago is when I took on my first healthcare role, and I've been there ever since. So for the past 5 years, I've been in healthcare, and I've really enjoyed that space. And although like a finance function is something that's more so a back office function, you're not dealing with patients directly, but I feel that through my work, I'm able to help others within the healthcare space, and it makes it worth it for me. If I'm able to work with doctors and make their lives easier, make sure that they get their bonuses properly, and certain things, if they want to look at their financials, I'm able to help them out. I feel like that it's a system. So within that system, I feel like I'm doing my part, to help others, and that's been very fulfilling for me. Now, lastly, my background. I was born and raised in Zimbabwe, and I came here to the US when I was about 12, which is around 7th grade, 8th grade, as my parents had a desire to give us, better opportunities than what we had currently when we were in Zimbabwe. And when I look back on my life, I was married here. I met my wife here. Went to school here, and my career started here. And I really feel that it's been fulfilling, and I feel that my parents have achieved their goal in terms of giving us the best opportunities, and I think it's something that even my 3 other siblings would agree with. Thank you.
Thank you, Elias, for a wonderful icebreaker speech. We learned a lot about you, and still remember your quote on Winston Churchill: to overcome challenges, never, never, never give up. Thank you very much for emphasizing that. With that, we completed all the 4 speeches today. We have a couple of new members. I see on the call Prahal, and we have Asif and Mushtaq joining from as an existing member. And we had one caller who just dropped off. But just before we kick off the table topics, Prahal, would you like to take a minute to just introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Good morning and good afternoon, different time zones. Thank you, Hari, giving me the opportunity. This is really wonderful to see different people and different background. And this is my, after a long time, this is my first Toastmaster attendees. So I haven't prepared anything. I just share my view on this based on 1 hour observation. It is great. There are a lot of motivational people giving energy to run our day-to-day life. That is very important because as you mentioned that turbulence is every day, especially in this pandemic and work environment, taking care of family, we have to overcome this, right? This kind of motivational speak and the inspiration everybody need. This is the one which keep us running. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I'm looking forward to join and contribute whatever I can do.
Sure. Thank you, Prahal.
Thank you
for joining as a guest, and welcome.
Sure. Thank you.
I hope you enjoy the session. With that, I would love to introduce our club mentor and club coach, Bruce Farr, as a table topic master today. And we can't thank him enough for leading this club for the last 5 to 6 months and helping us to put an easy speak platform for our club and giving constant guidance to our club members and club officers. We once again thank you, Toastmaster Bruce Farr, and welcome to the stage as a table topic master today.
Thank you very much, Harry, for that really warm introduction. So I'd like to share my screen as your table topics master today. Harry, if you can enable the screen sharing, we're going to get started, please.
Yep, I'm doing it right away.
Okay, thank you. Let's see if that works now. Okay, so
1 second. Yep. Yeah, we should be good now.
okay, great. Let's verify that. Okay, great. I'm about to share my screen. Can everyone, by show of hand, see the screen? Perfect, perfect. So, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests, welcome to the MECA Group Toastmasters Club. And this is one of the events we typically hold where we have our TEDx independently held seminar. This is where fellow Toastmasters and individuals have an opportunity to share their thoughts and ideas on a set of slides that I put together for each one of the facilitators, each of the individuals who will be presenting today. We have roughly about 4 speakers, maybe 5 if we're lucky. And the objectives here is you'll have from 1 to 2 minutes in which to share your thoughts regarding 4 to 5 random images that I will be presenting to you. There are no wrong answers. This is all about the free-flowing exchange of ideas. The key point here is to have fun and enjoy yourself. So as an example, I'll bring up our first TEDx facilitator. It will happen to be Harry Harris, so you can get an idea of what to expect. Our first presenter, Harry, come on up. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Bruce.
All right, here we are. First TEDx presenter.
Money, money, money. Who doesn't want money? And everyone is fond of green dollar bill. At the same time, money is not everything in life. Money is required. It's an important tool for trade, and it helps us to buy and sell things. Money is equally important to have an independent and a freedom life. But look at that. the penguins started thinking about, oh, we don't have money. How are we living in this whole world? We are in this beautiful ice zone and we don't have money, but yet the humans look up to us as beautiful penguins. And suddenly, all the little creatures started thinking about money as well. The green color, they're rushing behind the green color. But they don't see the dollar bill. They see the green leaf and they think, oh, this is my dollar bill. Let me cling on to it. Let me hang on to it. I am not going to leave this money dollar bill. There, money is just not for buying and selling things, but it can also transport you from one planet to the other. Elon Musk is launching his rocket all the way up to the space. And guess what? Who's there inside? I can't see it. Probably there should be someone inside along with Elon Musk here. There you go. On a Saturday morning, someone is watching MECA Toastmasters online with a cup of coffee and enjoying his Toastmaster session, learning things and in getting inspired and improving his public speaking, communication, and presentation skills. What a great way to start a day around the nearby with the hills on the side and in a beautiful, quiet room. Is it not great? Is it not something what you're doing right now? Maybe you're not having a coffee, but maybe you're reflecting on how a speech should be. Thank you, Tabitha.
Thank you, Mr. TEDx facilitator there. I tell you, so you have a great idea of what our TEDx presenters are. And now our second facilitator, an expert in impromptu speaking, is Toastmaster Yasir Imtiaz. Are you ready? Yeah, you know I was going to call on you. So are you about ready to come up?
Yes, Bruce, but I have complained from you.
Well, don't worry. This is going to be very straightforward for you. So here we are.
I was expecting you to call me. Oh, I love Paris. I really wanted to go there. And Hari was saying the money cannot buy, but money can surely buy me a ticket to Paris and I can go to the rooftop, but no, probably I will not go to the top. I'm so afraid of height, but who don't want to go Paris? And is anyone there in this group? No. Here I am so desperate to get to the Paris that I cannot even wait for the ticket and can just walking. And even if there is a rock, if there is a mountain in my way, I'm not worrying about that. I'm just going there. I'm so determined. There is nothing in my way that can stop me from going to Paris. Here come I, and you can see that, oh God. The one thing I really want to love about is cats. Didn't I tell you before? Probably I did. I used to have cats all my student life until like I was in the college. I always used to have, and my mom would always say, why you have cats, stray cats? I will just take them home and then feed them. And they were my best buddy for the rest of their life. So I really used to love them, have them. My kids also want to have cats. I don't know. This is me on the Monday morning before going to office. And we are back to the normal, so-called normal life, but I don't like it. I want to be home. And this is me. You can imagine before going to the office on the Monday morning, this is how I look like. If you want to see myself, this is how and this is when it's a Sunday evening and I'm relaxed. I'm just thinking about my work ahead and I want to be relaxed and just like fish, no worries, just a calm, serene surrounding nature and myself. That's it. That's me on the Sunday evening. I'm just relaxed.
Very good. I tell you, I really love the content that you TEDx presenters are doing today. And our next expert in the same area is our own Toastmaster Usman. Usman, are you ready to come on up into the red circle of our table topics? Actually, our TEDx. This is on you.
Sure.
Here you go.
After the two speakers, a bit of a challenge. So climate warming is a big challenge right now. Forests burning, all due to the problems human beings are causing. The carbon dioxide, factories, pollutions, cars, all leading to destruction of forests, green life. This has such a big impact on human life, on animals. This changes the way we see life completely. And human beings need to make an impact to change this if we want to create a better world for our children. So imagine yourself being on a vacation, and you go to a beautiful palace where you have an awesome dinner, where you have a king has called you to have dinner with him, and then you see delight which you've never seen before come up, and you enjoy them without having any regrets of your waistline. And this is what's presented to you by the king, by having all sorts of delicacies of the world you could have thought about, from seafood to vegetarian food to all sorts of meat and bread and dairy products. I mean, this is better than your biggest dreams you could have thought about. This is what you've been waiting for all your from your childhood, that you wanted to go to a buffet, like to have everything you could ever dream of eating before. But then once you've had all that food, then definitely you have to go and do some exercise as well, right? Otherwise, it's definitely not great for health. So it's the 1st of January 2021, 2022, and your New Year's resolution is to get fit. And to do that, you're going to join your local sports club and going to take part in that activity you always wanted to do. Part of your local activities, you're going to adopt a pet animal, and then you're going to take them along with you just so that you have company and you don't get bored.
I tell you, that was really very interesting. I really thought those ideas was wonderful, Usman. Great job. So we now have a hitter. I think this will be our last TEDx presenter, our very own Division Director, Anne Marie. Anne, are you ready to share your TEDx thoughts with us this morning, afternoon, evening? Of course you are. Come on up. You're muted. You need to start speaking here. Here we go. Oh, I think you're still muted.
Oh, I must be double muted. Can you hear me now?
Okay, yep. And I tell you what, I'm going to start the clock again for you. Here you go. Come on up.
Thank you. Everybody needs to walk. It is what keeps us energized, gets us from one place to another. It doesn't matter if you are in a crowd or alone. Keep those feet moving. Wear the proper foot attire. Sneakers give you the proper cushioning and support so you can move with agility and not have a fear of ending up on the moon. I do know that the first footsteps of humans when we landed on the moon were so important. One day, I would truly love for many of us to have that opportunity to also see our own Earth from the moon, because not only should I walk or you walk, everybody should walk together. We can get from one place to another and share our opinions. And along the way, we could see wonderful sights that we might not see in our daily location, like penguins. I only have seen them in a zoo, but I would love to see them in their natural environment so that I could truly appreciate what they do, how they interact, and what beauty the world has to offer. And I would love to adopt a baby pet bird. I know I have cats, 4 of them. They might not appreciate that. They may think I'm bringing them a snack, but I would promise to protect this bird and give it food that it would love to have in its beak. I guess I'd have to learn how to collect worms. But at the end of the day, from all that work, I would feel as fierce as a lion, from protecting the environment, from walking, and knowing that there is change. Fierce courage comes from within. And how do you learn that? When you walk and you don't get tripped up by what you see. You can run, you can growl, you can scare off your enemy. Thank you for that opportunity.
Thank you very much, fellow MECA Global TEDx presenters. And at this point, because we're running out of time, I will now turn it back over to our Toastmaster of the day. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Table Topic Master Bruce. You are making most of the members here to become champions in TEDx Table Topic speeches. A lot of speakers are free-flowing and getting expertise at this impromptu speeches. So, and I can see a lot of happy faces, curious faces, enjoying the table topic format as well. So, love this concept. Thank you. And as a fellow Division C Director, I once again thank and welcome Division D Director Anne-Marie for participating and enthusiastically encouraging all of our members here. Thank you very much. With that, we'll get on to the evaluation section. 2 minutes per evaluator. Our first evaluator is Yasser for giving us feedback. I welcome Yasser to give us feedback for our first speaker, Busola. Yasser, the stage is yours.
Yeah, thanks, Toastmaster Hari. Thank you very much. Sula, overall, I would say you did a great job. Overall, your flow was good, connected. Your start to end was very good. You starting at a very positive note, ended at a very positive note. Your tone, your pitch, your confidence level, everything was great. Your flow was great. And the most I love about you, and I basically love about any speaker, is their passion to speak with confidence. And when I can see when they speak from their heart, and you are speaking from your heart, which is a great thing, which means that you believe in what you are saying. Great thing. Everything great, but just 2 comments, please. I will just challenge you on 2 areas. Overall, it was great. Number one was, again, we are living in a technology era. Your contact with the camera was not at the level. I think as you're looking downward, your camera was down, you're standing. Next time, either you can sit or maybe just put the camera at the level where you kind of like a virtually looking into the eyes of the audience, even though you're looking at the camera. You might not be looking at the speaker at the screen itself. That's one thing. The other thing is, I think just restrict your movement a little bit, not much, not too much, but a little bit, because I think you are moving too much back and forth, left and right. Just a little bit movement of your hand, just enough. Obviously, you will learn with the experience as you will go from your feedback. But overall, I really love your speak. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Yasser. And once again, Busola,
Thank you.
For a visionary communication speech. Fantastic. With that, I would request our next evaluator, Sabine, for evaluating Victor.
Yeah.
The stage is yours.
Yeah. Thank you much, Hari. First of all, Victor, thanks a lot. What I have noticed in your speech, your thoughts were well put together. You were quite calm, and spacing was good. The only thing what I have noticed is the speech is very short. It's like hardly 2 minutes. Next time, if you plan, at least plan for 5 minutes, so we can understand completely about your topic. Because in 2 minutes we hardly get it the whole thing, right? And we clearly noticed that your hands gestures, which were really amazing to have that. And what the other thing what I have noticed is, I think you probably not seeing in the camera, right? Which I noticed. I'm not sure like everybody noticed about that, but overall it was a very good start to have your speech. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sabine, for your wonderful evaluation. And yes, it was so unusual of a Victor Lanyon speech, because when he speaks, he just goes on and punches his ideas. So I'm sure, Victor, you will do great in the next speeches. With that, I am the third evaluator for today, so for evaluating Mustafa's speech. Mustafa, you started off great. You talked about the persuasive influence and understanding human personalities. You had a visual aid to help audience follow your thought process and capture your ideas. It was an impactful tool that you use today to share a visual aid for you. And you had logically connected your ideas, talking about the 4 different type of personalities, then talking about the DISC tool, and then how it connects to the overall persuasive influence. So the organization of the speech, the structure of the speech was very clear. You had well-paced speech and balanced it very well. In the area of improvement or as a constructive feedback, what you can look at is to share a personal story, share an example that sticks with us. So it could be anything what you heard or what you had experienced in your personal life, but connecting with a personal story and say different type of personalities and how it can be observed. So it's a very effective tool. You kind of mentioned about dominance, influence, conscientious, and steadiness, right? And it was about driver type people, outgoing, analytic, and people accommodating style. So these are very important communication style, and this is a perfect material for understanding communication style as well. So you have your next speech content also ready. So use it and tweak it and shine it. So it's a very organized speech. Well done. Keep it moving. Looking forward for your next speech. With that, I would request Busola to come to stage to give her encouragement and constructive feedback for our icebreaker speaker, Elias Guto. Busola?
Thank you. Elias, wonderful icebreaker speech. What a great way to start. Wonderful to learn about your life and introduction to the members of the club. You were very calm. I like the fact that you also considered using the word of the day, tribulation, considering that it was your first speech on this platform. Well done. And I like the fact that you were able to tell us about yourself in little time. You were calm and I like your pacing and were able to follow the conversation. I like the fact that you maintained the flow from the beginning to the end. Please keep the good work, keep it up. In addition to improving on your presentation skills, you could, put in a bit of energy, you could include hand gestures, well done. I'm sure there'll be more opportunities for you to improve on your presentation skills. Thank you.
Thank you, Busola. And thank you, Elias, for your first speech. And Busola, well done as an evaluator. You took up on the challenge impromptu, but yet you focused on Elias' speech. You focused on his word of the day usage. You focused on the structure of the speech and the elements and how positively he used quotes and everything. And you also gave area of improvement and how we can improve. So these are all very good aspects in following a good evaluation. And there are multiple methods like sandwich, appreciating, constructive feedback, again, finishing with an appreciating. So overall, when you finished, you again encouraged him to go on with additional speeches. So it's a very good sandwich method of evaluating feedback and wonderfully done. Well done. So with that, we have come to conclusion of all the evaluations. As a grammarian, I did not observe anyone having an incorrect grammatical usage in any of your speeches. So well done as all speakers, you did a great job. In the counter, as an counter, I did not hear from any other speaker except for Elias of probably 5+ ansams, and it's probably because of your first speech. And I'm sure with experience, you will be able to plan ahead your speech structure and practice it. And when you rehearse it, all these filler gaps will reduce. And word of the day, I saw Busola using it 4 times and Elias using 2 times the word of the day, tribulation. So with that, we come to the conclusion of the tag report as well. I would request our general evaluator, area director, Pamela Johnson, to share her overall feedback and also for her as well as Anne to give any district communication. Pamela, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harry. I will try to keep this short and sweet and looking at time. Wonderful theme, overcoming challenges. And I saw that throughout the meeting from each of you. I did not sense any tribulation whatsoever. I want to give a special shout out, bravo to Busola for stepping up to be a speaker evaluator. It was something unexpected. And she jumped right in there and took control, did a fantastic job. And Elias, congratulations on your icebreaker. I'm sure you're going to continue this wonderful journey that you're on. And I would love to see the growth throughout this year with you guys. The variety of speech matters in this meeting was great, yet each was focused on a very specific message, and those messages were delivered very well. And Bruce, as always, you're excellent at explaining your role in such a concise manner. You don't waste our time with a lot of words and confuse everyone. You just get right to the point. And that's something that we as Toastmasters definitely learn over time. Overall, wonderful meeting. I love coming to your meetings. 8 a.m. is not too early for me because I'm usually up at 4. But I'll try not to come too often because I want to make sure
you're always welcome, because we need leaders, we need coaches, and we are very, very thankful, and we are extremely happy that you are taking your time to come and join us. It also tells us that we are doing something right in our club with the help of all the club coaches and mentors. Thank you. Please do come. We are happy to see you every time.
Thank you.
Thank you. May I request Anne-Marie, our Division D Director, to share any club district information if you would like to share.
Thank you, Harihara. This week coming up, we have a meeting where the incentives and budgets will be voted on, and then that information will be shared so that your club can earn Toastmasters dollars, get points. And the big important thing is keep working your pathways so that you grow, your club grows, membership grows. I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed this meeting. I'm so glad that Pamela told me about it and shared the invitation. I love the energy that I saw here and the spontaneity, the flexibility to take on multiple roles or just jump into a role. And Bruce, those were probably the most creative table topics I have seen. It keeps you going, it keeps you on your feet, and you don't know what to expect. So truly, to be able to do that, everybody deserves a round of applause. Other than that, I hope to be able to visit you again. Great job, great variety of speeches, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of this meeting today.
Thank you very much, Division Director Anne-Marie. Thank you. I would like to remind, and first of all, thank you for Mushtaq and Asif for joining today's meeting. We did not, and Solomon also, we haven't given a chance to speak, for them to speak, but I'm hopeful that in the next speech, next meeting, you will be able to get some time to speak, give your speeches. So thank you for that. Our next meeting is on October 2nd. It is a club contest meeting. We have tall tales and table topics contest. Bruce has guided us, he has made us table topics enthusiastic and champions. So we should take it and show that our Professor Bruce that we are good at table topics by participating in the table topic contest in the next meeting. And also tall tales is another idea stretching speech that is also part of our club contest. So I request everyone to volunteer and put your names in our WhatsApp group so that I can prepare the agenda. Our area director, Pamela Johnson, have kindly agreed to be our judge for the club contest. So thanks, Pamela. I'll shortly come to you along with my secretary, Sabine, on preparing the agenda and putting this together for October 2nd meeting. And Division D Director, Anne-Marie, I would like to request you to think if you're available on October 13th and October 20th, 7 to 8 p.m., Wednesday evening. I would request you to join as a chief judge or one of the judge in our Division C area contest, area 31, 32, 33, 34. So it's on Wednesday, October 13 and October 14. And Toastmaster Bruce and Pamela, I would also welcome you to be one of the judges. I would like to see if your availability, and I'll follow up with you separately. October 13th, October 20th, between 7 to 9 a.m. Sorry, 7 to 9 p.m. In the evening on Wednesdays. So I'll follow up with all of you again, and I'll follow up with our club contestants. We want to get the names put together in the next few days, and then we'll prepare the agenda by the end of this Saturday, and I will work with Pamela to get other judges lined up. So thank you. With that, thank you once again for taking a wonderful time of your Saturday and taking away your family time and helping members and officers grow in this club. Without the club leaders, club sponsors, and coaches like Toastmaster Bruce and Anne-Marie and Pamela, we wouldn't be here with this level of expertise. So thank you once again, and thanks for all the guests who have joined the meeting. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Hari. Thanks.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Great job.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Harry, can you hold on a minute? I just want to talk to you afterwards.
Sure, sure.
Okay, thanks. Hey, great job, everyone. You guys are fantastic.
Sure. You are fantastic. Thank you so much. Everyone enjoyed the table topics.
Yeah. So Harry, I want to go over two things. One is the last week's presentation. I've completed it. I'm doing some of the video edits, but I want to include your evaluation in that as well. So I want to set up some time where you and I have 15 minutes where we can do a video chat and you do the evaluation. And then I'll fold that into the presentation and we'll post that video as our first webinar.
Sure.
And then we'll have at least another 1 or 2 webinars covering key specific areas to help the club members either in pathways or whatever area that you want to prioritize. And we'll do the same kind of thing so that we'll have the format and we'll have feedback in the form of the evaluation. And then this way it'll be available for our fellow Toastmasters to review and to use as a guide to help them with their training. So
Sure.
I'll set that time frame up with you and I'll give you the evaluation as well. Victor, I have not forgotten you. Just been a lot of moving parts regarding evaluations. I had 10 more evaluations and you're in that pile, but you will get that before this week is out. Other than that, this is real, with 4 speakers, it really takes up a lot of time for that 1-hour format. And I know there was a lot of moving parts here. So the fact was, what I saw from my vantage point was, it was powerful having everyone step into this space and actually asserting themselves in a way. That's a good start for us, and we need to keep that momentum. Obviously, the time constraint was most of the people did not meet the minimum time requirements, which was surprising, but that's something we'll continue developing. And as good speakers, as you know, it's getting the message to the audience within the time requirements, and that is some of the hallmarks of a strong speaker. But overall, this was very good meeting. I was surprised to see our division director there.
Yeah,
and,
I was surprised too. I didn't know that she was coming.
Yeah, so that was a great job. And the fact is, she participated, and I think she was excited by the energy of this group. And that's exactly what we want to do. I'll look at my schedule as well regarding the contest. I've already been in 3 contests already.
Got it. I know.
But here again, I would love to participate as well to make sure that we can do it. But I have to look at my calendar for the next several days.
Perfect.
And I'll get back with you on that as well. Otherwise, great job.
Thank you. Fantastic. Once again, I think the investment of time that we have put before, I think it's starting to show up. It's starting to reap up. I think the club members are enthusiastic. I wanted to see if a couple of 3-4 members can complete their level 1 by October. And that was one of the intention to encourage the 4th speaker. If not, I think a 3-speaker prepared speech is more appropriate rather than having 4 speakers. So we'll probably go back to the 3-speaker mode agenda, and so that we have some little bit more time for evaluation and other things, and in fact, table topics as well. So I'll go to the 3-speaker format in the future meetings.
Right. I appreciate the strategy you're taking on by incentivizing, showing that leading by example, those individuals are moving through their levels. That's really powerful. And the second thing to keep in mind as those individuals move through that is we want to maintain the standards for each of those projects. And that's important for more experienced members to indicate how some of those projects are done so that we're doing them in a way where we're constantly challenging ourselves and learning from each other as we move through this. So I think that's a very powerful move, getting 4 speakers. I understand the intention there. And I mean, it's hard to balance those because here again, we still have challenges with people communicating through the Easy Speak platform, as well as sharing documents. And we're getting there. It takes time to build up the culture that will represent and that's reflected in the vision plan that was done in the club success plan. And that's what my intake is to follow the club success plan that you and the team developed. And it's going to take us some time to get there, but we're moving at a good pace. And I think here again, that our challenge is maintaining membership and the value proposition here. If people see value here, where it's really helping them in their various domains, they're going to keep coming back, as opposed to thinking this is just about book reports, because this is more than that, obviously.
Yeah.
So I can talk with you more, but I have a meeting I got to head to.
Yeah.
Take care. Have a wonderful day. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Asif. Thank you, Victor. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye.